Hello, everybody. This is Superintendent Jen Willard, and we are going to be having a series of summer updates to keep you all involved in what the reopening of school is going to look like in the fall. I know there's been a lot of anxiety, a lot of questions, and we are going to do our best to keep you in the loop and keep you updated on what the fall of 2020 is going to look like. So I just want to let you know that our goal is to get 100% of our students back in school and in person in the fall. But in order to do that, the commissioner has told us that we have to use a combination of strategies that include key health and safety measures. One of the ones that is super important is the masks and the face coverings. Now I know I've heard from a lot of our parents that they, first of all, don't want to send their kids back to schools with masks and face coverings. They won't, and I understand that it's not ideal. But in order for us to have school in person, this is one of the non-negotiables that the commissioner has told us we need to have. So our students are going to have to wear masks and face coverings to protect against the COVID-19 infection. One of the other things that we need to do is we have to provide safe physical distancing. We're going to aim for 6 feet between our students and our teachers whenever possible, but they are saying that a minimum physical distance of 3 feet is okay when we combine it with other safety measures, such as the masks and the hand washing and hand sanitizing stations. Now, the great thing about our school district is that the majority of our elementary classrooms do have sinks in them and soap. And we all know that hand washing is better than hand sanitizing. So we will be using and teaching our children, your children, our students, proper hand washing techniques, and we will be washing hands probably more than they ever have in school. We will also be providing hand sanitizer for the classrooms that do not have a sink in the classroom, so that they will be hand sanitizing just as often as our students will be hand washing. And the one thing that we need from you is when you as an educator or you notice that your student is not feeling well, your child is not feeling well, we ask that you keep them home. Or if you know that they have had close contact with a person diagnosed with COVID-19. This is the one that we're really going to rely on your judgment. And when in doubt, just play it safe and keep them at home. That was what we ask of all of you. So in order to make this in-person learning, there are, as I said earlier, some things that are just not going to be optional. When we put our plans together, we need to make sure that we follow this physical distancing, that we allow for our teachers to have space in the classroom that is about 6 feet away from the students, and that masks do need to be worn at this time in grades 2 through 12. We are encouraging masks for preschool, kindergarten, and grade 1. But we know that keeping a mask on a young child may not be the easiest thing to do. So we are just encouraging it. But the school will be providing mask breaks for our teachers and for our students. A mask break will be going outside, being 6 feet apart, and having the opportunity to take your mask off. So those are our 3 non-negotiables that we need to do in order to bring all of our students and staff back for the upcoming school year. So what the commissioner has asked us to do is to create 3 plans in preparing for this upcoming school year. The most important one is creating a 100% student return. What he's asking us to do right now and what we're currently working on is doing a test. It's called a pressure test. And what we're doing is we're looking at all of our buildings and all of our classrooms, and we're looking to see how many students we can safely fit into a classroom with the 6 feet physical distancing and the 3 feet physical distancing. And we may have to use other spaces in our schools, But the most important thing, again, is the safety. So we are pressure testing to see what size our classrooms are going to be next year and what spaces we're going to have to use for next year in order to bring all of our students back and still follow the health and safety requirements. The next model that he wants us to bring forward is the hybrid model. The hybrid model is if there is a potential rise in COVID illnesses, and this would be similar to a 1 week in school for half of our students and a 1 week at home remote learning for our students. So think of it as an A week and a B week. On an A week, half of our students would come to school and they would have in-class instruction. And then the B week, they would be at home doing remote learning, and we would keep alternating back and forth. There are going to be opportunities for our educators, for our parents, and for our students to offer input and give us some feedback on how that would work best. And I'll be talking about that in a few minutes. And then the other plan that we're creating is a full remote learning. This is similar if there's a huge spike in COVID and we have to close our schools again. This plan, again, will be a little bit different than what we had and operated with this year. There's going to be more active teaching, and there's going to be not optional pass-fail, but full grading. We're going to be teaching the standards of the grade level that our students are in, and they are going to be expected to complete all the work that is assigned to them. So again, our commissioner has asked us to prepare 3 plans, the 100% student return. We're working on that right now with our building of supervisor and grounds and our building principals to look at how we can fit all of our students back in our classrooms safely. We're going to be developing a hybrid model if we can only have 50% of our students return to school. And we're also going to be working on a full remote learning model. Again, input from our stakeholders, our educators, our parents, our students is vitally important in order to make these other 2 plans work. So I will be speaking to that again in a moment. So over the course of the summer, we are going to have some more upcoming topics. Some of the questions that you would like addressed based on the survey that we sent home. One of them is, what types of social and emotional support are we going to be providing to our students during the whole COVID-19 pandemic and transitioning back to school? Another one is, how are you keeping the facilities clean? What are you doing? I will be having our supervisor of building and grounds, and he will be here to answer questions that parents and students and educators have on what different health and safety precautions we're going to be taking. We also receive feedback that parents have questions about their children's IEPs. So we will have our Director of Student Services, our new Director of Student Services, Robin Gunn, who will be here to answer some of those questions. And we've also received a lot of questions about what next school year is going to look like and what are our plans for teaching for the upcoming school year. And we will have our Director of Curriculum and Instruction here to answer some of those questions for you. We are also still waiting on some state guidance around some of your questions and my questions as well, about what does transportation look like next year? What does lunch look like next year? Are we going to be having athletics, extracurriculars, electives? What's the school calendar going to look like next year with the time on learning requirements and the 180 school day? All of that will be coming from our commissioner, and as soon as I receive it, I will be sending it out to you so that you have the information as soon as I receive it. And what do we need from you? So next week, our Director of Curriculum Instruction is going to be holding some feedback forums. This is where we need you as the community to get involved and to provide us feedback on what worked for you over the last 4 months of school. What didn't work for you? So on Thursday, July 9th at 6 o'clock, she's going to be holding a forum for our 7 through 12 teachers and paraprofessionals, and at 7 o'clock for our preschool through grade 6 teachers and paraprofessionals. On Monday, July 13th, we are going to be having at 7 o'clock at night a forum for our parents to provide feedback. As a parent, I had a lot of feedback that I could provide on what worked and didn't work, and we really do need to hear from you. And really, just as important as everybody else, we need to hear from our students, as this is their education, and we need to know what worked for you and what didn't work. And again, that would be on 7 o'clock on Tuesday, July 14th. In order to make this interactive, we may have you sign up. Registration may be required. I will get that information out to you as soon as I have it. But please write these dates down. Please put the times in your calendars, because we really do need to hear from you in order to make next year as successful as it possibly can be. And finally, in case you did not receive it, I did put a link here on this PowerPoint for the initial fall school reopening guidance that our commissioner has sent to us. It's a pretty lengthy document. I tried to highlight what I felt were the important components that as a parent you would want to know about. But I also just want to thank you. Thank you for working with us. Thank you for taking the time to fill out the survey. Thank you for giving us feedback in the upcoming weeks that is going to make us stronger and better. So I'm going to be leaving you now to enjoy this nice weather. And if you have any other questions or concerns, you can always email me at superintendent@stgrsd.org. And we're collecting information and going to be responsive in our upcoming webinars to answer questions that you may have. So thank you very much and have a great day.